Maybe. Oh, there it goes. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. It's watching the stream, not the OBS. That's Twitch, not.
Oh
bit
gosh,
delayed.
the delay.
The
I
actual-
was like,
yeah,
I am not.
that's why I was
moving.
watching for it
Oh,
to
Lord.
switch.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to pick up where we left off with Shadows of the Earthspur. As far as Mythical Family news, we do have several projects coming up in the next week right before Halloween. So there will be some bonus streams and lots of social media stuff going up as Halloween is one of our favorites around here. So we're going to have some extra content and do some extra spooky games and events and whatnot for our folks here locally, and putting some content out as we celebrate the holiday that is near and dear to us. So we are going to pick up right where we left off a couple of weeks ago. Hi, Kyle. We just did our brief recap, but for the story, you guys had solved all of the problems apparently that were happening in Brusque, and we're on the way back. You had caught up to the wagon that you sent ahead that had 4 folks that were sick with something that just was not resolving itself, no matter what the local apothecary tried to do. Healing made people comfortable, but didn't get rid of this sort of arcane infection that they had. There was necromantic magic that was sort of in their system and spreading. There have been a couple of encounters with a wandering ghost troop on the highways, on the trade routes, and with the last encounter that just happened, there was a figure that approached and sort of tried to communicate and parlay with the party, and did remove the necromantic magic from the 4 sick people in a sort of horrific and kind of very unpleasant way. The people don't seem to be any better right at the moment, but Detect Magic has definitely let the group know that the necromantic magic that was spreading through their system and just sort of infecting their whole body has been removed. There's only residual traces of it left. However, these people are still very uncomfortable and not doing very well. The wandering troop just departed, having had a bit of an exchange with Tyranild, and the rest of the group was fairly protective and ready to engage in case things went south, so there wasn't a lot of interaction there. But the last advice that was given to Tyranild was be safe and don't travel at night. And then the rest of the troop fell back into the fog on the road, where it looks like there's wagon lights hanging just sort of out of view, and the wagon sort of just they hear it roll away. The lights fade in the fog. There's hoof beats from horses drawing this wagon. They hear the wheels across the gravel and dirt of the road. They never see the wagon, but after a few very long moments, the sound fades with the lights of the lanterns in the fog. And you guys do recover your poor sheep farmer cart pilot, who in the middle of everything going on with the magic being torn unpleasantly out of these people, he panicked and ran and hid. But you do find him, and it's been about 5 or 10 minutes while you guys sort of regroup and catch your breath and come down off the adrenaline. All of you were ready for a fight in case it happened, and you're just sitting in the still night air, and the fog again is swirling in its normal fashion, not in a slow fashion like it does when this troop is nearby.
Flat out exhausted.
So we're picking up right after that event.
Okay.
You guys find the sheep farmer young adult. He only made it 20, 30 feet and hid behind a large rock. There's really nothing here. So he just got behind something solid and just didn't know what else to do. But he comes back and he's really, I don't understand what was going on, and I'm really sorry. I panicked. You guys said not to interfere and not to do anything, and there wasn't anything I could do anyway. I don't, all I've got is my knife. That was awful. What happened?
I just put my hand on his shoulder and just kind of like soothingly, like just pat his shoulder calmingly, because there's too much to even start to explain.
It's okay. It's okay, bud. We were scared too.
Did she? What? These are all my friends. What did she do to them?
Well, she actually was able to remove the lingering poison, if you will, that was in there. It just unfortunately was a very,
Excruciating process.
yeah, but it saved their life.
Oh, okay. It sounded like she was killing them like slowly. It was.
It was awful. It was absolutely awful.
But they're okay. They're not dead.
No, they're not dead, and they will be okay. We'll get them further healing when we get to where the rest of our people are. And I forget, did I heal them afterwards?
You used the salve,
Okay.
what you had left of the
Okay.
balm. You split it between the four
Okay.
of them. So yeah, he walks over and looks, basically just sort of assesses that everybody's still breathing and moving and whatnot. They're all pretty much passed out from the what?
My notes from the last session. Salve, used on each patient.
Yeah.
That's a very good nurse's note.
I'm sorry,
That will be good for changeover.
I did not mean to break the mood, but I just happened to look down and read my S-bar note of the situation that happened.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What's
But
the
yeah,
recommendation?
he's gone.
Way to go, nursing. Okay.
Recommendation: don't travel at night. And
Correct. Situation, FUBAR.
Yes.
Background, we don't know. I'm sorry. I was like, used on each patient.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gone. But yeah, he sees everybody's okay, or at least no worse for wear and still alive. It's been a couple minutes. It's quiet. You guys aren't standing there with your weapons out anymore at this point, more than likely. So you see him just sort of visibly deflate and relax a little bit. Well,
Do we
I
take
don't-
their advice and just find a place to camp then for the rest of the evening?
I think that might be a good idea. I think we all could use a
Yeah.
rest.
is this the sort of thing you guys do all the time?
No.
No,
well, it's just Tuesday.
still would rather not.
I don't. I'll be glad to get back to the farm. This stuff is not okay.
Have you ever been to the circus?
Well, I've seen a circus, yeah. Troops come through every now and then. Sometimes they've got jugglers and knife throwers.
Okay.
That's usually actually the only time we see magic in Brusque, because we don't have anybody there that actually.
There's something in my past that kind of troubles me about this whole thing. So,
What's that?
well, when I was younger, my mother was. How should I say this? My mother was
You guys start a lot of conversations.
influenced by a circus, and she fell ill after this encounter, or after this magic show, if you will. And I have a feeling what we saw tonight was related somehow.
Well, magic's tricky. That's why we don't have any of it in Brusque, and we usually don't have anything terrible happen, I mean, they say nothing's free, right? So when you have these abilities to just do stuff and make stuff and have things happen, where's the cost? It's I don't know. But yeah, if the circus was magic, I mean, something bad could easily have happened. Something awful like what we just saw. None of that was okay. None of that's natural. And that reminded you of the circus?
Well, the circus where my mother got injured.
Sounds like a creepy circus.
When they set up initially, that wasn't creepy. But after that event, it was turned creepy quickly.
Very strange. Okay, so, what are we doing? I don't know about you guys, but I'm suddenly really hungry.
Well,
He just had a massive adrenaline spike and
Yeah.
terrifying experience, and he's come down. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry.
yeah.
we can make camp.
Yeah.
And we
let's,
can.
let's make camp.
Okay.
Can you start a fire? Or
Yeah.
Collect the wood.
Are we gonna stay here?
Should
I
find
mean,
a
should
place
I
off the road.
Yeah.
unhook the horse and whatnot?
Yeah. We'll.
All right, yeah. Yeah, if we're gonna stay put, okay. So yeah, he leads the horses and gets the cart off the road to a nice, fairly level spot. You guys are just a little bit off the road. He unhooks the horses and lets them. They're trained well enough. He just lets them kind of graze for a little bit. And yeah, he checks on his friends another time or two just to make sure that they're still breathing. Seems like it's more to remind himself than like actually checking up or assessing anything. And then yeah, he makes a fire and starts trying to put something together with the provisions, just sort of ranch cooking style.
All right.
Beans.
A day of rations.
Can you hunt, or can you find something? Is it late?
Yeah, how late is it?
It's around 10 p.m. You guys were setting
that's
up
right.
camp and spent some time trying to stay ahead of this and couldn't,
Yeah.
just because your farm cart's not real quick.
No.
That's okay.
I mean, I have.
It's just 2 horses and basically a large hay wagon to fit 4 people.
We have a little bit of rations. We can kind of.
Yeah. We can do that.
Well, if you guys want to expend rations, like I said, he can just sort of like ranch or frontier cook something up with them, so you're not just eating trail mix and jerky.
Yeah,
If you guys want to do that, he's more than happy to do that.
I'll grab one out of my.
Yeah.
I
and
can
give
give
it
one
to
of
him.
mine.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys expend a ration,
Yeah.
but it's an actual like warm cooked meal, and it's better than just eating the rations.
Yeah.
It turns out not too bad.
Move this down here so I can move my head.
He comes down off of his adrenaline while he's cooking, and you guys eat. You guys have not rested, and did have sort of a near combat encounter, so you guys are all a little tired. Nobody's going to have to roll checks to stay awake or anything, but it is getting on to the middle of the night by the time you guys have released the horses and brought them back in, made food to eat, made a fire and everything. You're looking at a little after 11. Getting to
If
be
we're
at
fairly
11.
certain they're not going to keel over or turn when they die, then we don't have to hurry as much as we have been.
No, very true. I still have enough unease that sit up and take first watch. You guys are okay with that?
That's fine.
Okay, so what's the watch order? And the depending on how you guys want to do it, the driver, the young man, says he's happy. He's used to getting up early. He's happy to get up in the morning before dawn. If somebody wants to wake him, he'll make something to eat, take care of the horses and whatnot, and keep an eye out if you guys want to rest.
Okay.
So he will take a watch shift if you trust him to.
I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll take second.
But as soon as that is sort of decided and everybody's eaten, if he doesn't need to stay awake, he's out in minutes. He's exhausted from driving the cart and then everything that just happened.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, he's less used to it than you guys are.
I guess I'll take
Adventurers and heroes are a special breed.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I'm that used to it yet either. To be fair.
I'll go ahead and take third watch, and then I guess the driver will take fourth because we're pretty late at night. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So just do like 3-hour shifts, basically.
yeah.
Okay.
That'll be enough that you guys can all count it as a long rest. And you guys are only really going to get 6 or 7 hours sleep, but it'll be enough. It is undisturbed. It is comfortable. It's not an excessively cold night. You guys have the fire. You guys are also able to relax enough knowing that it feels like you're at a point where you can. You're also in a spot where you're in the open and on the side of the road, but there's enough visibility that it's not likely anybody's going to just sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are all able to relax and get full rests. You're doing first watch. Who was doing second?
I am.
You're doing 2nd? Okay, and then Joe Gyra's doing third. So Joe Gyra's going to be watching from about 3 in the morning or so. There is a spot during the night. It's nice and quiet. There's a little bit of wildlife sounds. You guys keep the fire going. There's wood cracking in the fire and whatnot. It's more quiet than it has been. The people in the wagon are resting, so you don't have the audio kind of interference and discord, I'll say, of listening to these people being uncomfortable. They actually seem like they're getting rest. And there is a spot during the night where you hear that song coming over the night air again, just the sort of jovial circus theme that you heard before. And when you look around, you notice that on the road, you can see that the fog is doing that same thing again, where it's moving nice and slow.
This road is cursed.
And you do see at one point after watching, unless there's something you're going to do in the interim, if you're just going to watch, going back the other way, you do see two figures walking down the road. One of them is playing the music on a flute, and the other one has one of the little hand drums and is playing along with him. And they are walking down the road from where you would be going back toward the direction you came from. And they're just walking on the road. You don't hear the wagon or anything. You just see these two. And it's hard to tell with them being partially in the fog and it being late at night and everything, but you get the distinct impression that the one playing the sort of wooden flute, at one point in the song where they're basically just trilling with a note, turns to look at you, and there's sort of like a hat tip, and you think maybe a wink, and they just keep walking, and the whole thing lasts about 3 or 4 minutes, but between hearing the music come up and them walk by, and they just continue. But you get a direct acknowledgement that they know that you're there, and they just stay on the road and keep walking.
Alrighty. Well, I'm not gonna wake anybody for that. Ugh.
That's not creepy.
It's
Not creepy at all.
but it's that same tune.
No.
That's why they said stay off the roads at night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are they doing? Hunting for people and wandering in the middle of the night?
Well, they want new circus performers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
New blood. Audio is good. Thank you, God. All right. So, yeah, the morning rolls around. It starts to get light. You wake up. I actually forgot what we named this guy. We'll just say Javen for right now. You wake him. He wakes up and he's a little stiff. Oh, thank you. Get some rest. Get some rest. I'm going to take care of the horses. I'm going to make us something to eat.
Okay.
And he goes over and untethers the horses from where he had them sort of hitched for the night, and lets them eat and drink from the little stream that's nearby, and starts getting out his stuff to mess around with the campfire. You zonk out for a little while. You're not sure how long. Yeah. You are awakened by Javen. He's kneeling next to you, and it looks like he's sitting low. Jakira. Hey, Jakira.
What?
Someone's coming up the road, and they're coming fast. And you look, and it's just barely getting light. It's still fairly dark.
They're coming fast?
Fast enough I can hear them.
Sit up straight.
Okay.
Listen.
You, after listening for a little bit, you do hear it. It sounds like one, maybe two horses, but it doesn't sound like an armada of horses. It doesn't sound like an entire group of people. Yeah, it's moving at a full gallop.
Yeah, one or two horses. Let's just see what comes up.
Okay. He gets up and moves over by the wagon and kind of like tries to hide behind the wagon. And you do eventually see somebody ride up the road super fast on just a tan and white horse. It's somebody wearing just really long robes and has fairly long but light hair that they have pulled back. And he rides past the camp at just a full gallop. He looks like he's racing somewhere. And as he shoots past you guys, you see him abruptly pull the horse back and kind of slow it down and turn around a couple of times. And rides just off of the road facing you. So he's still 15, 20 feet away. He doesn't approach the camp any closer than that. And he puts his hands out where you can see them. And he just says, "Do you folks, are you traveling with a Tyranild?
Absolutely. Come on over.
Is she here?"
She is here.
Okay. He rides the horse close to the wagon and he looks in the wagon. And the rest of you sort of stir because you have had mostly a full night's rest, and this was a slightly yelling conversation because he wasn't going to get close. Yeah, he rides over and looks and gets off of the horse and looks around the camp and introduces himself as
Where are you?
as he approaches, you can tell he's an older elven man. And he's got long white hair, and he still has the very distinct elven features, although he does not look like he's young. And he looks around, and you can see his eyes pick out Tyranild sort of starting to stir and whatnot as everybody's rousing for this. And he apologizes, and he's like, "I don't mean to ride up on you so abruptly. I'm Cedrin," and he moves to shake your hand
How you do?
and shake Javen's hand. Tyranild sent word that there was trouble, so we're
Here she is right here.
and you guys are waking up. Cedrin is the widow from the shop, and he is there, and it looks like he arrived pretty much just before dawn, on the horse it's his horse, you know his horse, and he sees you stirring, and he walks over to you, and first thing he does is he looks you over and then just gives you a hug. He's like, "What is happening?
Wow.
You guys were sent to investigate preposterous stories, and then I get a scary response from you.
No.
What's happening?"
Well, Moon Maiden's blessings to you. It's really good to see you. I don't even know where to start. All of this has been unexpected, utterly unexpected.
Javen pops in. "We could start with breakfast," because he's been cooking.
Well, that works too. Um,
Call
Well,
me
then-
in.
while they're finishing that up,
Yeah.
I'd like to just come take a look at our patients, would you?
Yeah.
And I just want him to kind of, I am so untrusting of their not unalive status.
Yeah. So tell me what am I looking for? And others are on the way. However, I chose not to wait for them, and they're not capable of keeping up with me if I.
Well,
So-
honestly, I mean, at first when we got to the village, there was part of me that was half worried that it was the madness or some type of lycanthropy, but to make a long story short, necromancy, and they had some kind of not poison, but curse, maybe necromancy magic that was affecting them, and they were close to being turned, but a creature that we ran into last night viscerally practically ripped it out of them. I used what salve I had to heal their physical wounds, but I just can't tell if they're still close to being turned. I can't tell if they're going to live. I can't tell what their status is.
Well, let's take a few minutes, and you guys sort of spend a few minutes discussing what you've observed over the time with several of these people. In the morning, when you're assessing them and sharing the information of what basically their medical history has been in the time that you've been trying to figure out what's going on with them, they do look much better. You can see they actually got some rest, and it shows. You guys examine each of them. He looks at where their wounds were. He compliments the fact that the wounds have had the salve used on them, and that they've been well taken care of. And he ends up listening to your explanation of some kind of magical influence on them. And he says, I'm not detecting anything wrong with them at this point. They're weak. And you see he's in turn, while you guys are talking, he puts basically a hand on each of them on their head or on their shoulder. And you can detect the use of some kind of minor magic, but he just sort of with his touch, he puts them at rest. They physically relax a little bit and seem to be in a little bit better of a condition. And he says, assuming whatever was causing this to them was removed the way you say, this is a strange sort of affliction, so I don't know what to expect. However, if it's gone, then I should expect their bodies will heal themselves if there's not something in there disrupting them or making them sick anymore. But they'll need a little bit of time to be able to tell.
Well, in the entire ordeal, I don't know how much they remember of it, but it was ghastly.
Helpful.
I mean, it was like torture.
Well, what you said there was necromantic magic in them, so a creature removed it? What do you mean?
How do we even describe what she was?
And this is Ghost
A
Lady.
ghost?
Ghost, banshee.
Yeah. It's
Some
like
sort
this
of undead.
They're
ghostly
seldom
carnival.
helpful.
Did you
Interesting.
travel overnight?
I've been traveling for several hours.
But during the night?
Yes.
Did you hear any weird music?
Odd that you should say that, but yes.
You did.
Hmm?
So he heard them,
Did it sound like circus music?
sort of. Eerie?
Actually, yeah, it was sort of light and playful that way, yeah.
Did you see any like lights in the distance or fog?
Lights, no.
What about?
There were some people on the road, but I have somewhere to be. I didn't stop.
They
They're
didn't
not
stop
my
you?
business. No.
What were they doing?
Walking down the road.
It's too quick for them.
Well, I mean, I don't know if maybe they were just people though.
Could be too.
Were they playing music instruments?
The music might have been coming from them.
Yeah.
I was sort of focused on getting here,
Yeah.
and they clearly weren't who I was looking for, so I didn't even stop to engage them.
Good.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm glad you didn't. They're very dangerous.
I'm very old.
So I mean, the creatures that were attacking the townsfolk and injured these three were reanimated by a necromancer, and their wounds would physically heal, but it was just kind of this weird wasting sickness. And then as the sickness progressed, it would have turned them undead. But they had some strange, wild, like, affinity or obsession with joining this ghastly carnival, this carnival of specters, basically. But the woman, after looking at them, literally, like, ripped this god awful substance out of them, and it was like she was rending their. It was awful. Like I can't. I almost can't bring myself to talk about it.
If they were cursed with some kind of necromantic arcane influence, if the magic can't be destroyed, which is how something like that would normally happen, your order would have ways of doing that. The only other way is to remove what has been infected, basically the fluids or liquids that it's
It was
entrenched
that
in.
weird substance. I was so.
Well, that would be the only reason it would have a physical sort of, because the arcane
But it
doesn't.
didn't affect me. I was wounded by one of the creatures, and as far as I know, I don't have the sickness.
He takes a look at your wound and whatnot, and while he's looking at it and whatnot, you feel the presence of arcane weave and magic. He casts something on you just sort of discreetly while he's talking to you, and it doesn't actually have you feel a little warm, but that's about it. He says, no, I don't. There doesn't seem to be any sort of infection or ailment in you.
Well, that's
The others benefited from some restoration, but you seem to be fine. So your constitution may just be good enough. Maybe the moon goddess blessed you and wasn't ready to give you to another power. I don't know.
I'm also not human, so that might
Was
be one.
everything that happened, everybody there was human?
The wounded ones, yes. Well, but
I
so
was
was the
wounded.
necromancer.
Okay, interesting.
I was wounded as well. Did not suffer the same illness.
Yeah, he takes a look at you and does the same thing. He wants you to show him the wound. I think you got stabbed in the side. And yeah, you can tell also that there's some extra hand movements and murmuring and whatnot, and you can feel sort of magic wash over you and through you. You also seem to be just fine. Yeah, I don't know if you're simply lucky or strong enough, or there are blessings or protections upon you from whatever powers watch over you, but I'm certainly glad to not find any of you in the shape that those in the wagon were in.
May I ask what your background is? Obviously, you've been of the earth a while.
I have been a druid and a follower of the... Forget all of the details. First time this guy's been on screen. There it is. So I have been a disciple and walk the path of the shepherd, and have for many of your lifetimes. Nature is where I walk.
I may go out on a limb here, but how familiar are you with symbology?
Depends on the symbols. The Druidic faiths and the Church of Saloon and everything, Saloon, have all have their own sort of script.
I pull out the parchment
Yeah.
of the ball and say, have you ever seen a symbol that looks of this sort?
He looks at it. Somebody bled on this?
Somebody what?
Bled on this?
Well, the
And he's
I
looking
guess-
at it in the morning light.
yeah. I guess the pardon me, the woman who pulled the magic out of the patients here, she scratched the head of our friend over here and drew extra things on it with his blood. So yes.
He looks at you. Look like he's looking real carefully at you for a little bit. And this is the older guy that you work with in the curio shop. It's like, are you okay, Jogaira?
Just a little traumatic, but I'm fine.
All
I
right.
was a little scared, but it was just fine.
Okay.
And actually, I think it was you that she actually did the head thing on.
Which one of you backed away when she tried to cut your?
That was me.
Oh, okay. So she did scratch your head because Jogaira had the paper, so we
Oh,
have
okay.
that backwards.
Okay.
So you actually let her scratch your forehead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the one that
So-
backed away because
Okay.
I say,
scary little
Yeah.
spectre. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'd be kind of squeamish to do that.
So I hit the reverse button to say me.
yeah. Well, one of the thing had taken a couple weeks off. So, but yeah. So this is your blood.
Yes.
I don't recognize the symbology specifically. There are several things here that look like they could be arcane symbols for elemental things. There's some things here that could represent either the underworld or maybe the earth. There's liquid symbolized here, which can be water or life, or conversely, strife or mystery. I'm not entirely sure what it means altogether, but it does. The only thing I see here is it's sort of a combination of arcane symbology for elements, and if that's correct, I'm not sure what it's supposed to mean. The bowl could be the earth, it could be the underworld, it could be a container indicating control. The wavy lines are typically liquid, not, if it were air, it would look different. So if that's the case, it could be symbolizing a specific type of liquid, or the use of a liquid, or something more esoteric like life or restoral or destruction, or the unknown or mystery, depending on whether or not it's supposed to be a bowl of good water or the deep dark ocean. You know, there's a lot of things that it could mean. Without context, that's really all that I see.
This parchment was from a circus advertisement, circus poster.
Okay.
So I don't know if that.
Well, maybe it's a magical circus.
How long ago was the circus in town that your mom went to?
I've been, what, 6, 7 years?
Oh, are we? And remember, you guys all sort of know each other a little bit. So you think this is related to the circus that made your mother ill?
Yes.
Yes.
Why would you think that? Because remember, he's just holding a little slip of paper that shows a ball.
Well, the wasting sickness, there's just certain features of it that seem similar to what I heard about her condition, but also there was just there's something very strange about the way the specter regarded him.
Regarded him in
Just
a
with such
defensive or
Familiar.
sadness.
there was familiarity?
Yeah, and regret or sadness. I mean, she didn't say anything.
And the rest of the entourage, they were all circus
Yeah.
archetypes or folk.
I mean,
too.
it's just,
You said she reminded you of a banshee.
Yes.
If that's the case, the sadness is sort of par for the course. A banshee regarding you with familiarity, however, never bodes well. So
Wonderful.
be careful if you poke at that.
mm,
I don't have a lot to go on, so I will say that if you're correct that she's a banshee, being familiar to one is not good. Banshees never bring anything but ill and bad. They are creatures of ill omen. They seldom interact in a constructive way, though. So
she didn't act like one.
You know, she was more malevolent than
Yeah, she didn't act
Evil.
like one.
Which is not characteristic.
she
Even
may
though
be
she didn't
something different then.
communicate with words, like she actually interacted
Maybe she
Like-
was something different than a banshee.
more. I don't know. I guess just her displaying any kind of emotion towards you. I found surprising, but just the sadness, the regret, just such an odd.
Okay. Well, if she was a banshee, the sadness and regret are sort of normal because they are miserable and unhappy creatures. If she's not a banshee, despite what else she might be, it's probably still not good for a supernatural entity like that to have familiarity. So I don't know how to direct you on that without more to go on. However, yeah, be careful with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Banshees don't usually communicate either. If they speak or try to talk to anybody, it's usually just cursing and wailing, and their speech is a form of supernatural attack. It eats away at your confidence, your grounding with what things should be and how things are. They simply overwhelm you and cause terror when they speak. So,
Yeah, I felt nothing of the sort.
did she actually speak?
Not
Mostly telepathic.
right. Not with not with her mouth.
Okay.
It seems strenuous to actually physically talk.
Yes.
Then it sounds like this creature is more collected and rational than a banshee usually is. Banshees are cunning, but they're not very. They don't interact well. Let's just say that's not what they usually do. They're typically horrific and violent and potentially even without cause. They have a miserable existence and they lash out. However, if this creature did not speak, then like verbally or aloud, then it could still be a banshee. It's odd for them to want to communicate and interact with them. So I don't know, but I'm not sure what you interacted with was a banshee. If it was, it doesn't sound like a normal.
It's so strange that there's a whole circus of undead. Was there any
It's like they're
in your
wandering in
years?
twilight.
No. Yeah. Was there any circus that came through Y that had a tragic end or had to leave or something horrible happened to them in
Well-
your years?
The only, things happen periodically with acts. People fall from heights, or knife throwing or juggling acts go wrong, that sort of thing. But the most tragic story with locally that I know of, even in all of my time regarding a circus, is the circus where Tristan's mother fell ill.
Interesting.
Something went massively arcanely awry there, and the circus was abandoned. It's like they knew they were going to be in trouble, or something carried them away, but
Yeah, 'cause
they
they just
left
disappeared.
without even clearing out their stuff.
Interesting.
There wasn't anybody left the next morning when there was constables and whatnot there to investigate and question.
Hmm.
Remind me, is your mom with him at the rectory? Or was he looking after her?
He's not the one looking after her.
Okay.
She is at home, and there are members of your church
Okay. Okay.
making sure she's okay while he's gone.
Would there be anybody in the city, like historian, that you would know about that might be able to decipher this symbol? Because we've
So
seen it.
there will be better resources at Y for that. Absolutely. I don't know what kind of access you can get to the more scholarly and more elite. However, you did just do the city a favor, so you may have that. Plus, the church and potentially myself have some clout if there's somebody that you want to talk to but won't give you the time of day. We can see what can be done about that. I know a lot of people. Been around a very long time.
Then, yeah. You can circulate the symbol or do it covertly or something. We don't want to.
I think we have to show people that we trust, because this
Yeah.
might be more involved than we realize.
Okay.
Cedrin, is there anything unique about the crystal that I'm wearing?
He regards it, seeming to sort of focus on it for the first time. Is this rhetorical, or are you asking?
No,
guess-
I'm asking you. I don't know much about nature magic.
May I see it?
So I just take it off and hand it to him.
He just wasn't going to reach for it while it was hanging around your neck. It's just him
Mhm.
being polite. He regards it a little while you guys are all eating breakfast while you're talking.
Jafar,
Javen's
will
getting the
you
horses hitched back up.
Show him the geode that the crystal came from.
And he messes with it for a little bit, and you see he's eating, and so it seems to refract a lot of, and he hands it back to you, arcane energy. It's strange, it's not impervious to it, it doesn't reflect it or anything, but it does seem to sort of, like a crystal in a window, kind of make things wash. Where did you find this?
Here. We found it in the cave, and here's the rest of the geode.
Takes the geode. And you see he waves his hand over it, and you see he leans back a little bit, and he waves his hand over it, and he conjures arcane light in front of it. And it's, for a moment, it's not round circles or whatnot, but like all through the camp is like this disco ball effect, even in like bright morning sunlight. It's like, that's peculiar. I don't know what kind of uses there would be for it, but it's actually kind of a rare natural property. But there are minerals and crystals and whatnot that respond differently to different types of arcane magic, of course, because we use them in our crafts and whatnot. But it's rare to see one that's essentially so, and he does it a couple more times because he seems fascinated with it. For lack of a better word, arcanely shiny.
It's shiny. We'll just hang it up in the ceiling. And do we have any of the blood crystal?
We do have bloodstone. You have it in your pack.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Look
you
it
bought a
up.
big one. Where did you find that guy?
Yeah, you
So,
found it with the geode. It's kind of
Yeah.
neat stuff.
did
but
we
this-
show him the other symbol or just your symbol?
Just that.
It's really simple.
He
I think we should not show them the other stuff.
he examines it. You see he runs his fingers along it, and it's sort of the rock that it was mined out of and the impurities that are around it and everything just sort of fall away from it. So it's just the like cleaned, not polished, but fully cleaned off bloodstone. Says this is an impressive chunk of bloodstone. That will actually fetch a pretty penny to the right shop.
Well, luckily we have a shop. Which reminds me, who's manning the shop?
Just be concerned in the moment, Jogaga. The shop will be fine. There were more pressing matters than people needing
I think you bought a bloodstone too. Do you want him to clean it off?
diuretics.
Oh, sure. I can hand him over my if you.
Will you do the same thing to his?
Is it in the other chunk of bloodstone?
Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't even take it from your hand. He just reaches over and puts 2 fingers on it, and you just see it's
Alright.
the rock just sort of turns into sand and dust,
Okay.
and it just cleans it off like you would first
There you
need to do to assess it.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's another very nice piece. It's a common stone throughout here, but those 2 pieces are actually very nice stones. That's a good sized stone.
I think I know what to do with this. Oh yes.
Well-
There doesn't seem to be anything else unusual about it.
It's a bloodstone throne.
We should probably start heading
That's
back
right.
to why.
Yeah. Let's
The
have that.
mighty snowman.
Okay. Yeah, and Javen's
Wrong.
cleaned up camp and thrown some dirt on the fire and whatnot, and you guys get back on the road. In a couple of hours, we will probably run across the rest of the members of the church. They're on their way as quick as they could get here as well. They're just not as quick as the old man. And yeah, right around 11 or 12, you do see 3 people in. They're riding white horses, like most of the horses from your church seem to be, and one of them is actually the horse on the front of it has a banner flying in the wind that is just straight up flashing the moon symbol of Saloon. So you know it's them as they approach. And Cedrin's just riding next to you, and you expect they will probably recognize him. When they get close, they will definitely recognize you, and you guys overlap. You sort of, to not do the unnecessary time sink of that, you sort of go through all of the same things with them. They assess the patients. Cedrin talks about what he's done, and he's put lesser restoration on all of them to just sort of help their bodies recover. The church thanks him for doing so, and he has a love, a devotion for the church, but not necessarily any kind of allegiance to the church. And he's got a little bit of a cantankerous relationship with a couple of the people in the church. But in all of your time that you've worked with him and known him, he, without question, pretty much will do anything for the church. And he just sort of brushes them off with this may be somebody that he has a cantankerous relationship with, but he's like, of course. But yeah, they want a quick assessment from you about, so what happened? How did these people fall ill? They asked more in-depth questions about the creatures that attacked these people. Cedrin seemed to be more pretty much absolutely focused on you guys and the people that were there. He didn't ask a lot about what happened. That doesn't seem to interest him. The church is more interested in that. So they say they will ride with you if you would like back to Y. At this point, with the assessment of the clerics that are there, they say these people can be sent back to their homes. They're going to be tired for a while, but they're fine at this point with the magics that were put on them and the care that you guys provided until clerical hands could be put on them. they're going to be fine. We don't fully understand what they went through, but they're going to be fine. They're going to need to eat and they're going to need to rest, and they don't need to come to Y for that if they don't want to.
Are they lucid enough to make decisions?
They're not. They're still sort of. They're not feverish, but they're exhausted. So they have been asleep all of the night and most of the day.
They wouldn't be able to make it back to Brusque by themselves.
No. Perhaps they should come with us to Y and just rest for a few days and then head back out.
Javen just says if they're going to be okay, I can take them back. But if you guys think,
I'm just so worried about them traveling undefended at night.
well, we're going to have to do that at some point unless you're riding back with me.
I know.
I don't think there's a reason for them to be bothered.
I don't either. I mean, as long as you're only on the road during the day.
Which I'm sure.
Well, that's the usual way we travel. Yeah. That's normal for me, especially when I'm going to market and everything. And I'm certainly not going to ride through the night after what I've seen.
Well,
Yep,
seeing as you're
correct.
the one who's going to be taking care of them on the way back, it's up to you.
He has a conversation with the clerics, and they assure him that they're going to be fine. That they're going to have a really, really heavy appetite. They give him a couple of extra of their field provisions and whatnot. And he walks away from them and comes aside to you guys and is just, well, they're assuring me they're going to be okay, and I know these people are going to, they're all people I know and people I've grown up with. They're going to want to be home. They're going to want to go home.
Oh, absolutely.
I can get them there. I don't have any doubts of that, honestly. And this is going to sound a little ungrateful, and I don't want it to, but I don't know how to make it not.
You'd rather not be here.
All the bad stuff kind of
Happens around
it's been following us, and I don't think it's me.
us.
So
That's a fair point.
I
Fair
don't-
assessment.
and I hate to say that because you guys have been great and you've protected us and you figured out what the hell was attacking our people and everything. So you guys have been a blessing, and I want to express that. But I'm pretty sure I'll be okay.
Do you have everything you need to make the trip in terms of provision?
Yes,
Okay.
I had provisions because I wasn't going to stay if these people had to go all the way to Y.
Okay.
Not only did we not get there, but I had provisions for myself to come back. And your church friends have given me some extra food, and you know I can make a meal out of trail provisions. So we'll be fine there, even with they may be a little hungry when they get home, but we can definitely feed them when we get home.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we are a bit of a shit magnet. Well,
I'm not going to travel at night, and we're going to try to stay at the stops along the way where we're not by ourselves.
Yeah,
but-
if you can.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, make sure that you're just well away from the road, and under no circumstances talk to anyone at night.
No.
Just stay quiet.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'm good with that. I've ridden to and from Y for loads of wool and whatnot before. I've made this trip several times. It's never been this exciting, but I will be okay. I am also okay sticking to the plan and coming to town with you guys. I just don't know that it's necessary. My choice would be to go home, but with what we've been through as a little caravan here in the past couple of days, I absolutely 100% respect your input and point of view. So
I think if the clerics from my order say that they're going to be fine, obviously they will be.
I agree.
I think he'll be fine going back, and the sooner we get them back to their own homes and let that town and those people recover from everything that just got drug up from the past, I think the better off it'll be for them.
well, make sure if you're ever that far down the road again, you guys drop in and say hi, even if
Oh, I
Thomas is a bit gruff and doesn't like people, but you guys have done a
Well-
great thing for.
thank everyone for their hospitality and helping us. And should anything ever happen, please send a messenger to the rectory. We'll come help
Okay, yeah. I will.
rather than waiting for the city officials to.
I will make sure that Moon and Thomas know that. Okay. There's a little bit of a. I mean, you guys have only been traveling for a couple of days, so it's not a big emotional goodbye or whatnot, but you guys have been through something with him, and he may not have anything exciting like this happen ever again in his life. So there's a little bit of a lingering goodbye, kind of, it's been, you guys are like you're his new friends and he's having to go. But yeah, he takes the provisions. All of you notice that the clerics that have ridden out to meet you hang a couple of small talismans on the corners of the wagon, and wish him well and whatnot. And then you guys, it's after a few minutes, he gets things turned around and he starts heading back. He doesn't look like he's in a hurry. Yeah, it's you with Cedrin and the 3 rectory clerics, and they're all wearing well-maintained, not shiny, but well-maintained chainmail. It looks like they're all riding out to engage violence if necessary, and their horses are barded, and these look like crusader type clerics, and all 3 of them are little taller than average height, and all 3 of them are female, and they seem to be very about business. There's not a lot of small talk with them, and yeah, they want to ask you specifically. They don't interact with Javen any more than getting him on his way and making sure that he's okay. They seem to not actually interact with Cedrin beyond making sure that they express that they're thankful for what he's done. And then they want to know from you what made these people sick, and what they want to know the whole story. So is there anything that you're going to specifically share or specifically not share, or are you just gonna put it off? I mean, you're gonna have to go through the whole thing again when you get back to town.
Right.
But
I
not
don't
with them.
remember if I had given the messenger my notes that I had created for the order. I don't remember if I held on to them or if I gave them to him.
You
to give
thought
them.
about sending the notes, but did not. You had been taking notes specifically
Okay.
for your order and not necessarily the government report.
Correct.
But you did not want to hand those off to a courier,
Okay.
as I recall the conversation.
Then I would give those to whomever in the order, whichever one of the clerics was the most senior.
Okay, yeah, and that's the one that's trying to talk to you, and she takes them from you and looks at them, and then, still looking at you, hands them off to somebody, one of the writers next to her, and she still wants a verbal report from you.
I'd say we don't share the.
And you guys can have a side conference to discuss.
I think everything that happened to the villagers and those events is fair game, but the circumstances outside those immediate effects.
Yeah, like the Goblin Caves.
Yeah.
Or the
Kobold
Kobold
thing.
Caves.
Right. No, the threat was dealt with. It's not going to happen again.
Mhm.
The person causing the magic is dead and gone.
Yep.
The effects of the magic, concerns with turning, if they were still inflicted, of them turning and causing more damage to the.
Maybe that cave where we found them should be fine, but the rest of it, no. We don't know who's involved.
Right. We
No,
definitely
we
need to
should.
find out what the symbol means
Yeah.
and what does it have to do with the blood crystal.
Is that
And-
something we want to share, though?
If you want information,
We probably want it from somebody that might know a little more about the history and arcane.
I'm just not sure what order in my
the blood
church
crystal
these
probably would be
clerics are
Hmm?
from.
Yeah, we probably want to avoid talking to the militant arm of the church.
And if these are
Inquisition.
silver stars, then probably
These
Not a
are
good
not
idea.
silver stars. You would have no doubt of these people being silver stars if they
Okay.
showed up. They are not a covert order. So they are definitely not silver stars, but these are security, not
okay.
clergy per se. I guess they're technically all clergy, but these are actionable clerics, not
Okay.
Okay.
not church elders.
I think the basic function of what we did and who we helped, and that the fact that it's been dealt with, is all fair game.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a couple of orders in my church, like 3 of them that I would have some caution in.
Yeah, they're probably a little higher up
Yeah.
in the politics of.
Yeah,
Of
there's silver
cities.
stars, and then there's specific order of paladins, and there's another order of like crusaders slash they train in sorcery. So those 3 branches. I wouldn't expect them to be out this far, but as far as
Isn't there-
regular clerics are concerned, then no. When I grow up, most of us look like that. So I'm not entirely sure that they would know about the arcane symbol. That would actually be something that we would want to submit to the House of the Moon. My order, the Church of Seymoon, travels extensively. That's just part of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of arcane magic, the church does a lot of research. Well, because of she who shall not be named, in terms of finding out as much as they can about the dark arts and anything having to do with twilight magic and necromancy. So
Are
they might
you-
know, but that would be something that we would have to, if we can't get answers elsewhere, or we think it's that level of dangerous, we would want to actually travel to the House of the Moon and seek an audience to present that information.
I don't think it's quite.
Are you including Cedrin in your sidebar?
No,
I doubt it's that point. Yeah.
not because I don't trust him, but it just is
No, you guys need to sort
immaterial,
your stories.
really,
out.
to.
Just keeping track of what people hear. That's all.
Well, I say once we get back to town, then we not exactly canvas, but we investigate the symbol and see what we can find there. And then we have anything meaningful, and we don't have any leads, we can go back to your order and ask.
I think
So I'm sure there's a.
I think the only thing that I'm going to tell her is just the actual necromancy part,
Yeah.
and probably my questions about the town and what happened with Paul and his parents, and just the necromancy part, not the connection to the caves or any of the other things that we found out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, well, I don't know that they would find that material or not. As clerics, the like fang that we pulled out of my shoulder when I was bit, or the
I need to be a kobold.
nail, I don't know if that would help them in any way, but those people are already healed, so it's not like we need to worry about finding a
Mhm.
No.
cure,
Unless we come across those types of creatures again.
Go ahead and make a is it medicine or healing. I always get it backwards. Medicine, healing. It's one of the
Medicine.
proficiencies in the game. Medicine.
Medicine.
Make a medicine proficiency check with the new
23.
23. That's way more than enough. Okay. With what you've assessed and learned since you were wounded and everything, that doesn't. It occurs to you, or you're fairly certain that the bits of stuff left in the wounds has nothing to do with what actually happened. It's essentially just because they were attacked by something that has a body that's falling apart.
Got
It's not actually material to what inflicted these people.
it. Okay. So that's just what I'll convey to her. And I'm able to tell her that entire story without, it's important to me that I am able to tell the complete story without lying about anything.
Mhm.
And I can, because I mean, they're kind of like two separate adventures. So, I just tell her that whole chain of events and how we ended up with
Okay.
where they
So
saw us all.
basically just about what the demons were that were falling from the sky, what you were sent
Right.
out there for. That it turns out that it was one of the villagers that had been shunned, that he was a necromancer, and what he was doing is bringing zombies during storms.
Right.
Okay, you're gonna
We still
skip over
can't-
the fact that he had a little lair. You're gonna
No,
skip-
they're. I mean, they're gonna need to know that.
Well,
That's,
we dealt with them.
yeah,
that's all
you
it
know,
means.
that's where he was. Like that's where the source of the magic was. But we destroyed the altar.
Okay.
Circle.
Okay,
you
so
know.
you're going to explain that the zombies were different because of
And
an
that
altar.
where his lair was separate from the other guys. So
Like the mines.
I mean, because
But it
we didn't go up the tunnel, we didn't explore anything else. It was literally just that area, and that we laid his parents to rest as honorably as we could.
Okay. Alrighty, and you're gonna skip over all of the other stuff that happened with the kobolds, your
Yeah.
suspicions about Thompson, all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any clarity in turn. That's all conjecture,
Yeah.
Okay.
really.
Yeah, okay,
That's
so
the
they
side quest.
soak that up, and after
Side quest.
after the story, they of course everybody that was damaged by these people, they want to examine all of you and see your wounds and make sure you guys get
No, I
get
was
the
there.
once
Yeah, I
over
was
from
there.
all of them, even though it's already been done. They do it again, just to be sure. And then they ask, I'm like, okay, so you've taken care of. I don't know if I should attempt that or not, but so you've taken care of the people that were sick, and they're on their way home. You are all okay. You'll need to report back, of course, to the officials of why. Are you okay at this point? Do you need assistance from us?
No.
No, I don't feel like we do.
The most immediate thing was keeping the
Keeping the
people from
safe.
turning.
Right.
Yeah.
That was our most immediate concern, and
Well,
That's dealt with.
you handled that with great skill, which is good, because it seems like it turned out to be more than you were necessarily ready to engage.
I definitely think we handled it as best we could. I don't think I'm able to process what we handled because I've never seen anything like it, and I have no idea what those creatures were.
You have a lot in your studies left for undead and whatnot, so I'm sure your studies will lead you there. However, you stopped what was attacking the village. From what we gather, nobody actually died, which is good. So you intervened in time, and those that were sick, you found a remedy for. So don't sell short what you've accomplished.
I'm just glad we came out of it okay.
Hmm?
I said, I'm just glad we came out of it okay.
Of course we did.
As are we. Is
That
there,
was-
if
That's
the
right.
issue that
Sounds
we
good.
were dispatched for is taken care of, is there
Exactly.
anything else you need from us?
I don't believe so.
The elders will want to hear the report from you, just as we have today when you return. So make sure you report for that.
I just bow respectfully.
Sure.
It's to be expected.
Then we will see you when you get home. And they turn and ride off.
Perfect.
There's a brief glance between them and Cedrin just kind of nods, and then they just ride off. And he watches them ride off. Takes a deep breath. You guys, are you going to be okay? You want me to ride with you, or
Well, I mean,
Might as well. We're headed back the same direction.
Yes.
And we could pick up the pace anyway. We don't travel
don't have
with
the wagon, correct.
So.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we can be back in a day and a half if we.
yeah,
Perfect.
I think we should at least ride to the rectory and get ourselves cleaned up and
Report to the city.
yeah, and then we can
Go from there.
figure out what to tell them as well.
Same thing we just told.
I
Well, I
kind
really
of
don't
agree.
understand what the crystals in that spots. We don't have to really tell them about that.
What?
What was that?
The crystals in that, we don't have to really tell them about that.
No, things we found on the way.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Incidental to the
material to the
actual mission.
material to the task that they sent us on.
Now, if we find something more interesting that comes up with this and it directly relates to the safety of the village or the city, then we can involve them.
Yeah, maybe. I'd rather find out what that stuff is connected to
Yes.
before linking
Oh, yes.
Thompson or anybody to it.
Oh, no, exactly. We need concrete information.
Yeah, we don't have enough evidence to.
No. Let's not just give them wings and anything to sink
Right.
their teeth into that's not fully fledged and fleshed out. So let's just do that.
Do you have any sages at the sanctuary or wherever it is?
Well, at the rectory, it's just the
Rectory.
three of us. But my order has a great many. I don't know that you would call them sages, but divination, astrology, prophecy. The Order of the Moon is almost entirely composed of clerics that specialize in those things.
You gotta find out what the symbol means and what.
They might know, actually. I don't exactly know how to
Ask them.
yeah.
Friend of a friend.
Perhaps I would not have asked the clerics that were here, which is why I didn't.
Let's just let's look
Just wait.
into
Field clerics.
A little bit more.
let's do some more bookwork first
Yeah.
and take
Yeah.
a look there and then see what we can find through research.
Yeah, that would have opened up a lot more questions than I think we want to answer, and
Let's
maybe
do some more bookwork
people I don't really want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
and go from there.
Alrighty. So you guys ride back?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. You guys are actually able to push yourselves, and the horses don't actually seem to get winded or fatigued. One of the things that Cedrin does do is while you guys are riding, he has a handful of these really sweet, sort of tangy berries that he hands out to everybody, feeds them to the horses and whatnot. You guys are making really great time. You guys are
Those are
approaching.
good berries.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
That's all they are. But yeah, he kind of hands them out, gives them to the horses. It seems to help with the fatigue and then just the trail wear and everything. He's of the mind that you guys should just push through the night and get there.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't travel at night.
Well, I mean,
Well,
don't travel on the road at night.
Yeah. We just
He wasn't there for that warning, so he's
I'm
we
fine
hear the
carrying
music,
on.
we just get off
he
the road.
had zero problem bolting past these people. We'll
Right.
be fine.
So, I mean, we'll just stay off the road.
Um,
There's something
yeah.
about the road, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Well, and just not talk to them. Like, don't open doors. Don't
No.
talk to them.
Mm-mm.
Do you
Don't
still
show
smell
'em a-
good?
Don't show them a magical symbol.
No.
Right, but do
learn
you-
that.
Maybe-
Violently opposed to that.
Maybe
symbol.
we need to make him stink.
No.
Well, I mean, you know. I don't want them sniffing around for you again.
you guys gonna push through and ride.
Yeah.
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 Everybody, just give me a Constitution check to see how well you do.
Not 20.
Apparently, I'm tired. 3.
10.
Total of 3.
I think so.
15.
What else? Oh, 5.
15.
15. Yeah, the only one seeming to struggle with it seems to be Tyranild. You guys do stop for a little bit to shake off the riding and whatnot, let the horses rest and wander and graze for a little bit. In the process of that, Cedrin makes a small campfire and brews something using the good berries. And he forages a little bit for some wild berries off the side of the road and uses some of the same good berries. And he boils something in a small kind of kettle. That's the word I couldn't find. And he has you drink this a cup of this. It's just really bitter berry kind of drink that's served warm. It's a little rough to drink. It's really, really bitter. But once it hits your stomach and kind of warms you up and everything, it makes you feel a lot better and more invigorated.
Ooh,
And
okay.
yeah, it's made from ground wild berries.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
it's the good bitterberry concoction.
Right.
The good berries are what make it magical. The ground beans from the side of the road are what give it its invigorating power. And you guys ride for the rest of the night, and it's actually right around 9 a.m. when you're riding into your little town outside of Y, where your shop is, and near the church and that kind of thing.
Home sweet home.
And
Yeah.
you guys are all pretty tired at that point, but you rode through without getting any fatigue or anything awful like that.
Good.
Yeah.
But you are tired of being in the saddle, tired of being on the road, and you're all pretty hungry. But it's the start of a new day.
I mean, I have to say, like, if this is how adventurers feel every time they return home, I don't know why they keep going back out. Like, that was
Invigorating.
exhausting is an understatement, but invigorating, yes. I mean, it's kind of exciting. Like, you kind of want to go back out, but wow, that's not what I was expecting.
Well, it makes you just appreciate more what you have.
Yeah, an actual bed is gonna feel amazing.
Waiting for the rest of the payment then from the city.
Well, that's gonna be nice too.
So, what do you guys want to do with your day?
Let's go see the city officials and fill them in.
Might as well.
Get cleaned up, get a meal, and then head into Y proper?
Mm-hmm.
By the time you guys do all of that, because you are about an hour ride out from the city proper, it's coming up on noon.
I think we should go to our homes and drop off our swag.
Mm-hmm.
Get cleaned up and all that good
Yeah.
stuff too.
We can meet at the
Yeah.
wherever the official is.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Let's do
Two of
that.
you are at your homes when you guys ride in and have something to eat.
Yeah. No, I'll visit back my family and things.
Okay.
Get cleaned up, change of clothes, everything else.
They insist on swapping out your horse. Yours has been out for several days.
Yeah.
They get you a different horse. Yours is going to get groomed, and
I give them a rundown of the activities and things like that. What we
they are actually marginally interested. It's you're actually from a nation where adventurers sort of have a place in local history and whatnot, so it's not as weird or troublesome or whatnot as it might be in other places. So there's a little bit of, oh, what'd you do? Oh, what did you
Quite
find?
an
Oh, wow,
adventure.
really? So, and you didn't let one of those gross things bite you, did you?
no, they didn't get me at all.
That sort of stuff. So,
And I, embellish a little, but it's
okay. So yeah, they get you a clean horse and a clean saddle and let you put your stuff down, and
Perfect.
you get to your house. There has been a cleric not dressed for combat that has been sort of staying with your mom.
Okay.
And she's, welcomes you home and whatnot. There's not been any change or anything in your mom, but she makes sure that your mom has been taken care of and eats and gets cleaned up and everything. So
Okay.
yeah, she's really really glad that you have returned home, and she mentions that I'm sure your mother is glad that you're home as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's everything seems to be normal and taken care of.
Okay. Yeah, just get cleaned up and
And you do take
presentable to the city officials. Mm-hmm.
you do take a quick look through your stuff, and yeah, you verify that the piece of poster you were given is exactly from one of the posters for that circus.
Okay.
You were fairly certain of it, but you confirm it.
Yeah.
It absolutely was, and you can see where the symbol is kind of hidden in the
Okay.
balls that the clown is juggling in the background.
I will get another piece of parchment and jot that symbol down that with the addition that
Just kind of redraw it
yeah.
instead of carrying around the one that
Mm-hmm.
is partially you.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Yeah, and you draw it in there. Like I said, it was a circle with the line and the squiggly line. There's another squiggly line, and there's scribbles above it. So
Okay.
you can draw it however you interpret that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you've got.
Okay.
You guys all meet at the what would essentially be the city center or council hall. After probably a 45-minute wait, there's a clerk that is willing to take not willing, able to take your report. And what is it you're going to share with them? What are you going to tell the city?
Probably the same exact thing we told the clerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same story that we told the clerics.
The clerk, not cleric. The clerk there's no effort to hide. They seem to be utterly skeptical that, supernatural creatures, zombies, and necromancy. You say, demons falling from the sky, right?
Not the whole story.
No, not really. Sort of.
They were expecting you to go find that this was just a bunch of BS. So when you start actually talking about there being a necromancer and there being zombies and whatnot, this person seems utterly skeptical of your report. That's what I'm trying to portray.
I got it.
Oh, so there was a necromancer there, was there? Okay, all right. That's
Yeah, we
that's
decided to make
that's
all this up, so we just come here and collect
that's
the
the
reward.
that's the story from all of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We were all there together.
He writes some stuff down. But this person's been dealt with, you say?
Yes.
Yes.
Permanently.
Yes.
Okay. Scribbles it down. These creatures that this necromancer was using to attack the city. You said you believe he animated these creatures?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. They were
So they were
animated.
animated corpses of some kind.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I shall pass this up the chain to Chancellor Relfay. It's the one that wanted you dispatched on this. He digs around, pulls out 4 bags of coins, which is the 30 gold each of you guys were promised. So each of you gets your 30 gold. Good. There's follow-up questions where his attention seems to be more actually focused, like, and you let these people know that you were dispatched from Y in accordance with their complaints, so that the city did send response, and you are sure that they're okay now, and you made sure before they left. And basically, the red tape and politics. He's trying to make sure that all of that was taken care of. That and it's all the stuff that you guys did do, but he seems to be more interested in the fact that you dotted those I's and crossed those T's.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, the city and the Chancellor thank you for your service. It's peculiar that it turned out to actually be a strange circumstance, but given that that's what popped up, I guess we sent the right people. You seem to have handled it well, so congratulations. And again, the City of Y and the region of Falkirk, thank you for your service. Excellent. Should any more ghouls fall from the sky, we'll know who to call. This is a low-level bureaucrat that doesn't seem to believe anything he's told. So
Yes, keep us in mind.
Yeah, not sure about the.
But yeah, that takes part of the afternoon, so it's about, by the time you wait and deal with this guy and put up with his skepticism about the actual story and half disinterest of what the details are, and dealing with him focusing and fixating on the unimportant political details of it, it's coming up on about 4 o'clock by the time you guys are done with that, and you guys sort of all exit the equivalent of the courthouse, the chancellor chambers, and
Now, wasn't there someone different that approached me for this mission?
there were a couple of guards that you knew,
Ah,
basically from your interloping
Yeah.
and investigating and asking questions and them having to respond to, "Look, these people are, why are you bugging these people? Because you bug them, then they bug us, then we have to come talk to you. You know, you've got some relationship with some of the guards." So
Okay.
I believe Devin was one of them, and maybe Kurt or Kirk.
okay.
Kurt and Devin, I think it was,
Yeah.
from early on, were the ones that brought you the missive. That you at first thought they were shoving a job off on you, but it was actually a letter to you. But yeah, you know, they're just sort of around. You know, their beat, we'll say.
Yeah.
And they got the privilege of coming to ask you and give you the scroll, which they seemed to enjoy, even though they were trying poorly to suppress.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go try to find him at some time.
Okay, yeah, they're not hard to find. You know, it'll probably take you 30, 45 minutes of wandering around because you know where they should be. Yeah, and as you find them sort of sitting at one of the check-in stations where the constables and city guards kind of hang out until they wander out to patrol or respond to something.
Yeah.
You see you see them, and as you're approaching, Devin sees you and is like, hey, and smacks Kurt, and they turn around and like, oh, hey, welcome back.
Yeah.
How was your trail trip?
It was exciting.
Oh, was it?
Ran into zombies, necromancers, undead. It was a great time.
Oh, did you now?
You really messed out.
Oh, okay. Okay. You didn't get bit or anything, did you?
Yeah.
Oh. We may have to put him down.
Show him the wound.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you best check in with the church every day. If we don't hear from you, we have to come find you and put you down.
Yeah, well, I got cleared by the clerics, so I'm good.
All right. And it's anybody that has any kind of arcane knowledge knows that's not how it happens.
Yeah.
So what's actually happening with these people was unusual.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I don't know. We may have to keep an eye on you.
Yeah. Hey, got a question. Kind of a strange question. Pull out that.
All your
Symbol.
questions are strange. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, even stranger. I mean, like, get a load of this. Pull out that symbol. Have you ever seen this thing floating around anywhere? Or anything that looks like that? On shipping containers or,
It's a bowl of soup. What is this?
yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a scene of kind of tell them the story about the necromancer
No, it
cave?
looks like one of those saws that they use for, when they just a hand saw for the. Like, no, because it's upside down. And there's a little bit of an exchange, and it's real quick
Yeah.
for you to gather that they don't know what the hell they're looking at.
Okay. Okay.
Who drew this? Your
I
kid?
did. Well, I try to remember. I saw this like a cave drawing or like a cave carving or something.
You saw this in a cave,
Yeah, where we saw the necromancer.
and you think it's going to be on a crate?
Well, I don't know.
A crate from the ancients?
Maybe.
Did we follow you? Are we with you?
wouldn't have.
Well, it depends on whether or not you guys were going to hang out, debrief, get a meal or whatnot afterward. I mean, if you guys were planning on doing that, Tristan just has, I got something I want to do first, so you guys could do that. That's up to you.
I think the
Did
three
you
of
want to
us-
handle this alone, or were
I
you
think
going
the
to
three
show
of
up
us
with your
probably
new?
went to a
Kind of
tavern.
alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tristan's going to meet you for a meal later.
Yeah.
He says he's
Okay.
got something
We're
he
just
has to
waiting
go
at the
take care of.
tavern for you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know what I'm looking at.
No. All right. Yeah, just thought I'd ask, see if you guys have seen this in your travels.
Looks like he's got it upside down. Looks
Yeah.
like the sunset over the ocean. I don't know what
Yeah,
you.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, you went out and found trouble. Sounds like you found some amazing trouble. So stay out of trouble here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Know me.
Yeah, we know you. That's why we're saying it.
Well, yeah. I'll see you all around.
Kind of elbow each other and whatnot. It's good to see you're back.
Yeah. Just save a spot at the next dice game, so I can take more money from you.
Yeah. You know what? We got work to do, and you're keeping us from. Why don't you go? And the rest of you went to a tavern to get some lunch
Sure.
or some early dinner.
Yeah.
Take a little pit
You
stop
guys-
to the blacksmith and pick up a shield. If I can, please.
What are you gonna do at the blacksmith?
Pick up a shield.
Okay.
Small shield. 10
Just
gold.
just book price, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's something you want special on it, it's just.
Yeah.
Those are standard retail prices. There's no reason to fluctuate them in a large town. So.
Okay. I did.
Okay. So
Thanks.
find something that's in your size and comfortable, and yeah.
Shiny.
So between a little bit of shopping and the side errand, you guys are all at the tavern within about 15 minutes of each other, and you guys.
As I see you walk up, I'm assuming that you have the shield like on you or whatever.
Is it ordinary size shields, or are you like dwarfed
No,
by
no.
it?
No,
Or is it
It's-
the
Yeah.
size?
It's a tower shield.
it's appropriate.
Okay.
It's appropriate. for Japan.
Gosh, that is the cutest shield I've ever seen.
You know, he uses toboggan too.
Oh my gosh.
A snow sled.
I unsling mine and put it next to it. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. I love it. Put mine back and hand yours back. And I'm literally not, I'm actually naively I just think it's adorable. I think it's the cutest thing ever.
And yeah,
Yeah,
you
some
know,
things, great things come in small packages too. Just saying.
and you know it's genuine. You know Tyranniled enough that she's not.
Yeah.
There's not deliberate snark in it.
Well, I like it.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you have one.
Huh?
That's what I'm glad you have one.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
My
put-
our last little mission, we got bounced around a little bit. I think need a little more extra protection.
Yeah,
Never heard.
I was kind of thinking that myself.
Kind of want a
Before the next-
breastplate too, but they're
Before
really
the next
expensive.
adventure, we need to get some better stuff.
And that's what you walk up to the table to hear. For the next adventure, we need to get some better stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff.
And Tristan's here.
Gee, trade in some of those gems. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Um,
You want better stuff? Trade some of those gems.
Exact-
So you know what I was thinking?
You had a big bit. Big bag of coins you should probably exchange.
We probably should.
Jesus.
Divvy that
Yeah,
up.
we got like almost 1,300 of copper still in
Yeah,
this.
that stuff needs to be
bag.
exchanged too. What I was thinking when we were,
Have you guys brought that stuff to this conversation? Just
I'm assuming it's in your backpack
Yeah, it's in
okay.
my bag of holding.
Okay.
because, you know, it's
Yeah.
slip back.
It's with this bag and just kind of just keeps
Oh
on
no,
coming
don't pour
and
it out
coming.
here. Oh God, put all that back.
All the copper.
Yeah, not in the tavern. Put all that back.
Hundreds of copper pieces.
Yeah.
Oh no. But what I was thinking when we
Hit
were
it big at the penny
talking
slots.
to that civil servant,
Told you.
talking might be the right, not the right word, whatever.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have sent unknown people down there if they knew about the operations down there. They would have sent somebody that they can control in case the person found out about it because
yeah.
of the proximity.
So they have no idea.
They have to have no idea.
That's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? Because we're a totally unknown entity.
Mm-hmm.
We had no idea what we were doing. Never mind, did they know what we were going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think the city has any idea.
No, I don't think they do.
So that's got to be something that. Where do you even find out about stuff like that? Like, do we need to go down to the docks? As why is not even on the water? Never mind.
I'm gonna.
Just kidding.
Is there a
Or like-
There is a shady part of town
Yeah,
where
that's
there
what
are
that's what I
warehouses
meant.
and
yeah
That's
warehouse,
warehouse.
warehouse district, right?
Right, that part.
there's just no dock.
Plan on. I want to check the libraries. I want to check my. Yeah. Contacts I have with family and things.
Are
Yeah,
you
where
guys
can
going
we-
to go through and divvy anything up, or are you still going to have Jogaira carrying everything? You going
I'll
to
go to the
sell
bank and I'll
sell
get
the
it all taken
bloodstones?
care of.
Converted into better coin.
Yeah, and let me see how much those gems cost. Those crystals.
Yeah, we can.
Sure.
The geode and the bloodstone, I would leave those at the rectory.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you do with yours whatever you want, but
Is that-
those two, I would leave at the rectory for right now.
It's after the
The bloodstone is just bloodstone. Just
It's just
So
high
that's
quality
out there.
bloodstone.
it's just a big piece of it.
but that
Both
geode
of the pieces.
seems
The
like
geode
it
is
has interesting
Yeah, I
properties.
would leave that at the rectory. I wouldn't
because it may.
do anything with that at the moment.
Well, the geode I agree with, but the bloodstone, just see how much it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I might want a little chip of it too.
I don't see why not.
Take it.
You
Do
know,
something cool with it.
Cool.
Now the rest, the rest of the stuff I gave you the values for, as they popped up.
Yes, you did. We have 3 bracelets left with 25 gold apiece.
Mhm.
We have a golden ring that's worth 25. We have an ornate silver locket for 25. We have 2 potions of healing still. We have a scroll of jump.
I have to give that to you. Give that the potions. I don't know. Potions of healing.
I would give that to not me
Well,
because I would cast it on.
Oh, I suppose.
Well, yeah, if you're going to divvy anything up, write it down on the respective sheets.
Tristan, you should take a healing potion at least.
Yeah,
well
Okay.
let's give it to the weaker people. I mean the
I laugh in a mug of
What'd you
ale.
What'd you say?
You're not sure what happened? Somebody bonks you with your own shield and you're not sure how it happened?
Right.
well, since you and I can both cast,
Yeah, I would give that to
we can
those
both
that
heal
cannot.
ourselves. We'll give one to each of you guys.
And
okay?
I'm sure we
Okay.
can scrounge more of those from Cedrin at the rectory if we needed them.
All right, so the potions are gone.
Each of you have a potion of healing. Okay.
There's a scroll of jump. What's a scroll of jump? I don't. You know, I can jump. If I take it, I'd be jumping just as high as you guys are. So,
I don't know. Do you want to hold on to it?
I'll hold it. Sure.
Yeah.
Kind of
hold on
funny.
to it.
What's your strength, Jogaira?
8.
Okay, times 3, that's how far you can jump.
That's
That's still
That's a
not
running
bad.
jump.
Wow.
That's still
Times 3?
well.
Yes.
That's why it felt like these creatures were coming from the sky.
Take your strength, just
So
stack,
39,
Feet. Yep.
right?
just and multiply by 3.
Yeah, 39.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, mine 24 feet. I mean, come on.
That's why off of a rock, it was convincing that these
I
things
would
were
just
coming
hold
from
on
the
to it.
sky.
It might come in
Oh,
useful.
sure. No.
Maybe
No.
for our next
Get-
adventure.
Do
you want me
it'll
to hold
come in
it?
Yeah.
useful.
Okay.
For our
I
next adventure, yeah. You
I
hold
can
on to
cast
it.
it too, but you'd be better off with it. Well, I can't cast it. Never mind. Well, I can, but, you know.
And you can go ahead and just convert any of the jewelry that you're going to sell into the
gold.
money.
Just
it-
convert it.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want to sell it, you'll get that value for it. That's what the chart says.
Can you do me a favor?
There is
The ring that we got, can you inlay it with the bloodstone? As
I
a
sure can. It's
memento?
going to take a while, but yeah.
Just as a memento of what we did.
Very cool.
Okay.
a piece of the actual bloodstone you guys have.
I'm sure it'll take time or whatever you need, but I
What
would love
about-
to have that as a memento.
What about a really shiny piece of the little, like,
Does-
chip of the geode?
Before I sell off the locket, does anybody want the locket?
No.
Or the ring?
The ring
Well,
is
the
what
ring, yes.
yeah, for the
That's
for
what
the
he's talking
blood.
about.
Oh, for the, okay, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
Let's make a
But
ring out of the blood.
put a pretty piece of the geode crystal.
Then if you can spare another piece of that crystal, and like yeah, I would love to have
mean,
that.
There's a bunch of little
Bloodstone
you know what a
and
geode
crystal,
looks
and you
like,
can make it however.
Yeah, give me some time, I'll get it done.
Okay.
All right, so
Really
this is
cool
going to you, so write down gold ring with 25 gold.
Okay.
I don't know how much the geode and the bloodstone will make it even more.
The as far as the value, he wants you to put a piece of the geode in it, right?
And the
Geode
bloodstone.
and the bloodstone.
And bloodstone. Okay.
Make it like a
So
twin,
you guys have the two large bloodstones that you bought.
Right. One of them's his, and then the other one we just
Yeah.
have.
You can
Right.
use mine, and
Well,
I mean it's
think
I mean it's far too large for a little ring like that. I'm
what
sure
you-
it's just
what
going to
you
be a
find
part.
out is you can take a piece of the bloodstone that Joe has, and have enough to round it and make it nice for a ring. The one that he has will still sell for 60 gold, and yours will sell for 55.
Okay. I'm going to trim off a little piece about, just say about that.
To keep for you.
Yes, for my construct that I'll eventually make, but yes.
Okay. So it will sell for 50. You take about a 5 gold piece value off of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his will sell for, what I say,
You wanna
65?
hold on to
60?
yours. Yes.
What's that?
Your bloodstone.
I'll hold-
But you
Um,
can sell those as well for the value.
Well, that was kind of the memento. So
Let's
I'm
go ahead
going to
and sell it
sell
so
the
we can
stone
let it-
and
Oh,
just
with
have it.
okay.
And
Yeah.
there's one other thing you notice with all of those copper coins and whatnot when you're exchanging them, they're from, and it's usual with all of the trading that happens in Impiltur, you guys have currency from all over the world. So it's
thing with the
normal
copper.
to find. It's still a copper. There's some standardization. There's
Copper's
different
copper.
sizes, and there's some places that put holes in their coins and things like that. Just different cultures and different fiefdoms that mint their own money. There is one coin in there that's actually fairly large. It's about the size of like a 50-cent piece. It's a big coin. It just sticks out from all of the rest of them because it looks like it's bigger. It's about twice the size. It's still just a copper piece, but it looks like it's really, really old. And it's on one side, it looks like it's really worn, so it looks like it may have it may have been a crown or maybe mountains. You're not sure. On the back, it looks like it's maybe a crate or a cage or maybe an old building with pillars. It's sort of hard to tell. It does look like this coin has seen a lot of wear and is very old. And you can tell it sort of looks like it's been fidgeted with. That's where some of the wear comes from, sort of like a little worry fidget. Other than that, there's an assortment of all of the sort of standard coins that you're used to seeing from all over the place.
Okay.
But that one is just a little unusual.
All right, I'm going to keep that coin. Just going to pocket it.
Yeah, for the geode, I want to keep that at the rectory, so don't sell that.
Okay. Alrighty, so
You guys
It's
each
100
wrote down that you were
copper.
paid the 30, right?
what's that?
You guys wrote down that you were paid the 30 gold,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes.
Anybody shortchanged?
Mm-hmm.
So we convert this to gold, so 12 gold. There's 84 left, 10 copper per silver. Put 8 silver and 4 copper. All right, let's add this up. Oh, that's pretty good. Haul. Divide that by
How big was
4.
the geode? It was like,
About the size of a grapefruit. Not quite a cantaloupe. It's a big geode.
I'm just adding it as a custom item.
Yeah.
Because I can't, there's no rocks. in them.
Yeah, shiny rock.
All right, guys. If we divvy this up evenly, everybody's going to get 252 gold.
Gee.
Jesus.
I'm okay with that.
It added up to over 800.
Hmm?
It added up to over 800.
No, 200. Yeah, it added up to. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I was just saying
So
that
divided
didn't sound
by
right.
4, right?
That's what I do for a living, so I wanted to ask.
Sorry.
That's okay.
63 gold. That's
Okay.
better.
We're missing at least 1 0 now.
Right?
Yeah. So 63 gold, 2 silver pieces, and 1 copper.
Got it. Thank you.
Well, you guys
Okay.
came out of that almost 100 gold
60 what?
richer.
Sorry, I was typing the 63,
63 gold,
63.
2 silver,
and 1 copper.
1 copper.
Okay. I have the geode. You guys have healing potions.
Scroll of gold.
I took 1.
Bloodstone ring.
Yep.
Bloodstone. Stone. Coin.
Yep.
Okay.
And making the ring will be, unless there's something specific you want to try to do, if you want to inlay a different metal in it or inscribe or engrave something on it for Alamar, it's essentially a fairly trivial task for you to make
Oh, it'll
a
be a
setting
mistake.
for it and put
But
it.
on the
put it-
inside band, could you put the symbol in there?
Oh boy.
You sure you want that? Okay.
Okay, so go ahead
Ooh.
and make a
That's fighting with fire.
proficiency check for that.
See what happens.
Okay.
Just
You have the tools and whatnot. It is just a proficiency check, so make the proficiency check. We'll give you +2 for. You get the proficiency bonus for having your crafting, and +2 for having the tools, since it's a non-stressed thing and you're in your workshop. It won't take you more than a day to do that.
All right, so I'll put my one skills, where's my skills.
Unless, of course, the first roll is bad, which I'm going to throw out there just to jinx it.
All right, so I'll do my proficiency roll, which is +2, and my tools, which is another +2.
Mhm.
Do I add a
There's no crafting or anything, so that's pretty much all you get.
yeah? Will there be a like a dexterity skill?
It would be a dexterity. It's a constitution check.
what does that have? The whittling is so difficult.
Charisma. Charisma.
It's a
It's
charisma
taking
check.
so long.
So 23.
Okay. You are able to put that on the inside. You can engrave it. With a 23, you can also inlay it with something else like silver or a little bit of copper. You can embellish it a little bit if you would like. You could even technically inlay some of the bloodstone if you put it on the inside of the rings, the band, so you can make it big enough that you can actually inlay something if you want. Otherwise, you can just do what he asked and put the symbol in
I
there.
want to make it
And
your
it's
own.
not jagged
cool.
or anything like that. It's smooth and comfortable.
I think I like
And
the
the
idea
geode
of
piece.
inlay it with the wavy lines of silver
Okay.
and make the bowl out of
That
bloodstone.
symbol or the other symbol?
I want that symbol hidden. I don't want it showing. I
No,
want it
no,
to be on the
the
inside.
Yeah.
bowl symbol or the other one?
The one we're investigating.
Okay,
which is
Yeah,
a bowl with wavy lines.
Yes.
okay, because I thought we had the one we're investigating and then the
So
one
basically,
she
make
added
the
to or
outline of the
whatever.
bowl.
Oh,
in
the whole
silver.
thing. I want it all together.
Okay.
Actually, make the bowl like silver, and we'll put like a little teeny dot of the bloodstone in there. I think that'd be nice. I think that'd look really sweet.
Are you gonna put the shiny geode crystal in there too?
Yep. Well, like on the
Well, he's
on the outside.
inlaying a piece of bloodstone and crystal on the ring proper, I think. But yes, with a roll like that, you inset the gems and you can decide how you want to lay that out for him, since you weren't given any instructions, so you have the creativity
Yeah,
there.
just side
Yeah,
by
the creativity is with you.
and you were able
Here's
to
the commission.
do the inlay on the inside
Side.
with no
Just
problem.
do side by side with a little bit of a raised. What's it called? Bronze, whatever
The setting.
setting.
All right. And yeah, and the inset on the inside you can do as well.
Okay.
That does use up his little 5 gold piece chunk of bloodstone. You still have yours that you kept.
Which, not for another level, but we'll keep it.
But yeah, you make you use the ring that's there and you set the stones in very nicely and are able to inlay it.
Okay.
Inlay the symbol on the inside, which is a little tricky, but you do it very nicely.
And then I'll present it. Shiny.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know. Look at it.
And the symbol is on the inside, but the symbol is also inlaid.
It's not the one ring.
It's not just stamped or cut in, it's actually inlaid with stuff. So it's
Nice.
comfortable to wear and everything.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. So take good care of it. I don't offer warranties for this, so.
No, this is amazing, and I slip it on.
Doesn't fit.
Yeah, and I got you.
It's
you didn't
made
give
to
him
the
that
wrong hand size.
Yeah, you can give him that information.
Well, I'm sorry. Yes, it
You-
fits me just
yeah.
perfectly.
That's a detail I'm sure the jeweler would have asked. So it fits fine.
Funny.
Yes, I know
Like
your exact
stick
measurement. So, you're all set there.
Oh, sorry, I measured it with my own finger.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
It's funny.
So I got your measurements from the other night.
You're asking for an awful lot of measurements to make me a ring. Why do you need all this information?
Yeah.
My
Some of
social
this is quite
security
personal.
number?
Yeah. All right.
Bank account routing number.
My
What the-
account, what?
It's just for account verification purposes.
Account, okay.
All right. You need to, during the day where Jagira is making the ring, you debrief at the church. Are you going to tell them all the same thing, or are you going to tell them more?
The clerics, I'm assuming, would have given my information to them.
Yeah, it's already been passed on. They want to hear it from you, just essentially as a formality and to reinforce it,
So,
and ask if there's anything that have you given further thought to anything you want to say? Is there anything you want to change? Is there anything else you remember? That kind of thing. And it's not an interrogation. This
Right.
is your church, and,
Right.
and these are not the same people. The people you're talking to here are much more pleasant and less abrupt, as afforded to them by the job that they have. So.
yeah. No, I just discussed the same thing with them.
Okay. And they're a little curious about the strange breed of zombie that can affect people, so they ask a lot of questions about that. And they're so from what you could tell, it was
I'll recount to them what I can remember of.
a place of power
altar.
or an altar
Yeah.
that was that was responsible for these zombies being unlike normal zombies.
Yeah.
Okay, and you defaced and destroyed that.
Yeah, and I'll just relay to them as much as I can remember what it looked like, what the the altar itself in terms of the magic.
Okay.
Um,
There's a lot of symbology there and whatnot that you didn't get because it's cobalt shamanic magic.
mhm.
But yeah, it looks to be pieces of like a summoning circle or empowerment ritual circle, so it makes sense to them, and like you're certain that there was no magic left in it when you left, and you destroyed the symbology that was there. Okay, you made a good decision on that. Thank you. And as far as you know, there are no more of these creatures running around. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So that takes up a good portion of your afternoon. And then yeah, it's is there anything else you guys want to follow up on when you're back at home?
I just don't even know where to start looking.
As far as
You
what
guys
I
have
would like to
some
do,
money,
Well,
upgrade your digs, maybe
um,
move out of the shelter.
I want to at least do some research in the library, see if there's anything I can find on the symbol, if that's
Okay.
obvious. And then when the next time our group gets together, my family's gathering, whatever,
Mhm.
I'd like to see if there's anything they might have to share. If anything,
Okay.
yeah.
You sort that process won't happen right away, but
No.
you can start that process.
Okay.
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 I need post-its because there's notes I have to write down over some of this stuff, and I sat down and didn't have post-its. And was there any Joe Gyra bought a shield? Is there any other shopping you guys want to do? Do you guys feel like upgrading some of your gear? You guys have time to
would
do
have to
that
look.
as well. You poke around and there's not much you find out about the symbol. You do confirm with your own poster that you've kept in your evidence box and whatnot that paper did come from the poster of that circus, and yeah, no, none of the other people that you talk to know anything else about it right away.
I'm sure I would know that if there were other victims of that accident in the circus.
I'm sorry, one more time.
The other victims of the accident at the circus, I'm
Mhm.
sure I would know it.
Yes, but your mom seems to be the only one that was clipped by
Mm.
this magic.
Okay.
A lot of other people seem to. The magic was fairly fatal,
Mhm.
either triggering fatal biological things in them or pre-existing conditions. It seems like this burst of magic that doesn't seem to have been intentional from everything you've gathered, but it seems like what it did was it lashed out, and folks that had pre-existing issues, it sort of made them fatal in that moment. People with heart conditions or respiratory conditions, or people that were prone to or that were maybe developing aortal aneurysms, or just stuff that the medical science isn't there for back then, but it seems like conditions that they had or were developing, this magic focused on and triggered. With your mom, it just seems to have sort of kind of not put her in a coma, but kind of just this sort of catatonic state where she's there, but she's not there.
And that is something that, like, once we got done at the tavern or whatever, I would have wanted to do is to ask you if I could see your mom.
Oh yeah.
to see if I can detect any similarity in between what's afflicting her, like by just with detect magic.
With all of the same examinations that you've been performing on the other people, the only similarity is the fact that this malaise that's on her is the result of some kind of necromantic magic, but it
Yeah.
doesn't look at all like what was happening to the people that were infected by the zombies. Other than the fact that it seems to be the same type of arcane energy.
Is she conscious?
She's conscious, but she's not there. She can eat. She seems to periodically be happy to see people or enjoy feeling the sun, but for the most part, she's just kind of not there.
May regret this, but I want to show her the symbol,
Ooh.
Okay.
the one that I drew.
It doesn't seem to promote any or invoke any kind of response.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just kind of. You're not even sure she focuses on it when you show it to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you play any instruments? Do you have musical ability at all? I don't think I do. I'm just wondering if she
I don't know
would
if I have enough
No,
time
I
with all
don't.
my
respond
jewelry
to
and
the
stuff like that.
tune.
But I was thinking maybe I'll go to like the
Oh,
Know
the
what I mean?
gnome
yeah.
district or whatever.
Okay.
And find the jewelers there and see if they get had any shipments of blood crystal or shipments of blood crystal lately.
If they've had any in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what part of what the region is known for. So yeah, it's a common thing here. The value is most people.
Okay. Any crates with this little symbol on it?
On the rock?
Not on the rock, on the crate.
Well, you need to be clear when you say these things.
I thought that was very clear.
What is this?
I don't know. It looks like a ball. It looks like somebody's Rice Krispies. But that's beside the point.
Well, it's not beside the point because you're asking about it.
Well, I'm asking about it because I want to know what the symbol is. It looks like a merchant symbol.
What? You're bringing it to me and you don't know what it is?
Well, it's a merchant symbol.
How do you know?
I don't know. It was on a box.
So you've seen it on a box.
I saw it on a box.
You're asking if I've seen it on a box.
Yeah, did you see it on a box?
Was I there when you saw it on the box?
No.
Then I don't know what it is. Wait. No, I don't know what this is.
Oh, for Christ. Give me that back. No help whatsoever. If you find the symbol on one of these boxes that come through, could you let me know?
Yeah, I can do that. It just doesn't ring any bells.
Well, I don't think it'll have any bells on there to ring.
Well, that's probably why it's not ringing bells.
You know, can we just... If it comes in, let me know.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Who the hell are you?
Well, Jesus. I'm like here almost every single day.
I'll let you know.
I
It
appreciate
doesn't look familiar. In all honesty, it doesn't look familiar.
Okay, very good. Can you, do you have any scrap metal laying around that you want to get rid of?
Dude, what kind of metal are you looking for?
Oh, scrap metal, like, you know.
Oh, you got some hot iron and wrought iron and whatnot. Yeah, I can get you. You just want scraps to play with?
Well, I'm going to melt it down and maybe make something out of it, but yeah.
Sure. It gives you about 5-6 pounds of
That's-
little wooden box that you can carry full of just trimmings and scrap of various metals. Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Well, tell you what.
If you make something artistic or whatnot, make sure you don't tell anybody where you bought it.
I won't. By the way, thanks for your help. Here's a gold.
Well, thank you.
Well, you've been somewhat helpful. It'd be more helpful if you find me some information about these boxes.
Well, it's what we strive to be. You tell all the people you know that here at Rock Gnome's Emporium, we are somewhat helpful.
Rock nose. Yes, I love rock noses.
Needs to be on their sign above the door.
Somewhat helpful.
Somewhat
Yeah,
helpful.
somewhat helpful.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're really helpful, I'll give you 5 of those. Well, 50 of those. How's that?
Gold?
Yeah, if you find a symbol.
Yeah. I'll let you know if anything comes up. It doesn't, I don't know, it looks like something you find on a cheap ring.
I beg your pardon.
I'll watch for it.
Do you want me to inlay it in your head? Maybe you
Well, you don't have to get snarky.
you call my work cheap.
I mean, your work. Did you make this?
Well, I made a ring with the symbol in it, but yeah.
You put this symbol on a ring?
Mm-hmm.
My apologies. But you put this on a piece of jewelry and you don't know what it means.
No, that's why I want to know what it means.
You don't have any tattoos, do you? Do you know what they mean if you do?
Well, there was that one time.
I was really drunk.
Earthspur Mountains. There was a betting game. Yeah. A few dwarves. It just didn't work out very well for me.
And this has been a fairly normal exchange, just culturally, so you know.
I perfectly know it's a
Yeah.
it's a very
Just so that
much-
it's clear, yeah. So, but yeah, if anything turns up on this or any of the guys recognize it, I'll let you know.
All right, excellent.
There's not a lot here, so I mean,
There's not a
is
lot
this the
here.
whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
Okay.
Well, maybe it'll be a little bit different. Maybe they'll have like another bowl on top of it with some more wavy lines in the
Okay.
middle.
So look for this symbol or something different.
Maybe they stamped it twice on top of each other, so you might just want to be aware of that.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out.
All right.
You know how we are. Detail. Gotcha.
Detail.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, if you find that, like I said, if you find the information, I'll make you a little more heavy in the pockets.
Hey, we like gold here, so I'll watch.
All right, very good. Thank you.
I was wondering if I'd get to
Hmm?
pretend to be anybody less droll this episode. Yay. All right, so you've got some scrap metal. Only cost you gold and some patience. Mom
Got
doesn't
lots of gold, but
seem
no
to react
patience.
to the symbol at all. And there's nothing similar there other than the fact that the effects of what seems to be ailing her do seem to be based in necrotic magic. And none of the things that have been tried on her by the caregivers seem to really have done much.
Okay.
You don't know if there has been an opportunity for more powerful magics to be tried on this. It's not like Tristan or his mother have a lot of clout in the city per se, so you don't know if anything other than cursory magic or stuff that you can do is what she's been exposed to yet. But
I think I probably would have, in talking to the elders, because I'm just realizing I didn't tell the clerics about this either. But it's not like the order doesn't know it's one of our clerics that's sitting with her. Would have asked them, not necessarily in conjunction with anything, but just because I traveled with you, if they could send someone with perhaps more experience to look at her.
Well, what is it that's ailing her? We were just told she needs care while her caregiver is out.
I don't know what's ailing her. She's sick after a very strange event that happened at a carnival here a few years ago.
She's been in the state for years.
Yes.
Given your non-combative response, your willingness to help us with what the city has asked us to do, and going and taking care of that, and your report back. If your friend wants to bring his mother in, we will see if there's anything that more skilled and elder eyes can see. That seems fair.
I'll let him know. Yeah, so I mean, the next time that I see you,
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know that we can at least bring her there to be seen.
Okay.
All right. So you guys do. At this point, you're running through downtime. So, is there anything else you guys would like to sort of accomplish in the moment?
I don't think so. I just
So I don't want to make my way down to the warehouse district,
Okay.
but we could probably resolve that next session.
Okay.
But before I go out, I want to send a courier over to the church to
Okay.
tell them where I'm going.
Okay. So yeah, afternoon the next day, you do get a letter from Tristan saying Tristan is going to go sort of, well, I don't know, it's your note. What are you going to say in the note? How are you going to word that you're going to investigate that?
Just gonna go investigate the warehouse district for reasons you can probably understand, is how I'll say it.
I think, I'm assuming that there is a larger church in Y.
There are several, yeah. The only reason yours is sort of on the outskirts and not huge is it's just not what the Church of Saloon typically does. I need to stop saying saloon.
Oh, Saloon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Besides checking starting to dig through the libraries.
Yeah, I'm gonna start checking libraries and such, and then other contacts I might have
Yeah.
on that end. But it wouldn't hurt for extra help.
What I probably end up doing too is maybe sending a letter to my parents.
Okay.
Just kind of outlining what we found and if they have heard anything or know anything
I
about
don't know
it.
if there's any other weird mining going on in that
Yeah.
that they know of.
Weird mining symbols being flashed around.
I remember the
Yeah,
the
they've
kobolds
heard of
were-
a troop of 4 people just flashing this odd symbol. Yeah, they've heard of it.
Stay away from those people. They sound sketchy.
All over.
This
So
just
we're keeping this somewhat low profile.
in.
I mean, not having a bunch of people looking at. Well, that's true. All right, maybe it's a little bit too loud.
Gonna share your adventures with them?
Hmm?
Gonna share some of your adventures with them?
Yeah.
Just without spilling any of the important details?
Hmm?
Without spilling any of the important details, just kind of tell them, hey, I went on this neat adventure.
Yeah, went on this neat little adventure. Found this weird thing. This say about the
Oh, for Pete's sake.
huh?
Looks like your camera died.
Oh, yeah. Oddly enough.
We're getting ready to wrap it up.
Yeah, just about the adventure and what we found and mentioned about this weird symbol. It was this, now it's this, and not too sure what it means, and necromancy and this all other crap.
Okay.
Just kind of
Alrighty.
see how much they disapprove.
Okay. Well, you guys have been paid for the mission and checked in, done a little bit of research of your own stuff, divvied up your spoils and whatnot. Where we're going to leave off is a letter comes to the curio shop, to Alamar's family home, and to Tristan. It has been 3 days since you've reported in, with just sort of doing your own thing and getting caught up and resting and being glad to get home. Eat cooked food rather than trail food. And reporting it to all the people that you needed to. You guys receive summons to the back to the Chancellor Hall, and it is from Chancellor Nason Relfay himself. There's not a lot in the missive. Apparently, he would like he is requesting in a rhetorical way a follow-up about your recent foray out in Brusque, representing the city.
Okay. Easy enough.
And the missive is very clear that Chancellor Nason Relfay is the one that wants to see you.
Mhm.
And he is, again, to reestablish that, he is essentially the penultimate bureaucrat for this entire region of Falkirk.
Okay.
Why is the capital of it? He's not royalty or anything like that as far as the nation goes, but as far as running this entire district, which is sort of why, and all of the wastelands to the north where it starts to get icy and all that stuff. He is the top dog of this region.
What's his name again?
He is Chancellor Nason Relfay, which is just Nason or Mason with an N. Relfay. The correct spelling is Relfehe, but it is said Relfay.
Used to RELFE.
Relefehe. Relfehe. Fehe.
Okay.
He is the one that dispatched you. You guys, more or less, you know who he is. You guys live in and adjacent to Y, and he's the Duke of the area or King.
And
Or
I forget, is he human?
he is a human. There's a little bit of mystery around him as to whether or not he's half elf, but as far as everybody knows, he's human.
Great. Now what do we do?
He is fairly young for somebody in his role, but he's fairly well regarded, but he is a bureaucrat.
I'm going to send a note to my order just letting them know that another audience with us has been requested with him.
He would like to see you for an afternoon meeting the following day. So, and again, it's sort of a rhetorical request, and that's where we'll pick up.
All right. Cool beans.
All right, we are going to wrap it up there. Thanks for everybody for watching, and hopefully anybody following along is enjoying our adventures through Impiltur and in the shadows of the Earthspur Mountains. And yeah, watch for all of the fun stuff we have coming up for Halloween. I'm going to kick this over. I forgot I had the remote and I don't have to stand up.
Yep.
And enjoy yourselves. Thanks for watching, and take care of each other, because we're all we've got.